over to you
was
with you, boombox
victim
here.
of this crime. And then you look at the way the crime was perpetrated. Is it a low-risk crime or a high-risk crime? When someone asks you a profile, what they're looking for are physical and behavioral characteristics, which includes age, race, sometimes body typing, educational level, occupational type. They include the overall behavior of the subject, whether or not he's very, very rigid, obsessive, compulsive on one extreme, to be very, very sloppy and careless on the other. And so it can include sometimes as many as 100 characteristics in the overall profile.
At the request of South Carolina authorities, Douglas turns his attention to the Shari Faye Smith case and reviews all the case materials.
What made the case unique was that we have a subject who is communicating with the family, which is very, very rare, very, very unusual. I felt good about it because when you have a communique, whether it's a written communique or a verbal communique, you can do an analysis of that, and it begins to paint a pretty nice picture of the type of person we should be looking for. But it was this, he followed a script that was written out beforehand.
After scrutinizing every detail of the abduction, Douglas generates a 22-point profile. The subject is likely a male with a prior criminal record and lives locally.
The nature of the criminal beast is that they will perpetrate crimes, and they will, as well as dispose of crimes in areas where there's some type of familiarity.
Douglas also believes the abductor has feelings of inadequacy and compensates for that through violent actions.
He feels like nothing. He feels like a nobody. And how can this nobody, this personality, this person who's probably overweight, low self-esteem, unattractive, how can he become somebody? He'll go after victims that there was no chance that he would ever come in contact with someone like a Shari Faye Smith.
2 days after the kidnapper's last communication, he calls the family with specific directions to where they can find their daughter.
Listen carefully. Take Highway 378 west to traffic circle. Turn left at white frame building. Go to backyard. 6 feet beyond, we're waiting. God chose us.
Investigators race to the location, hoping to find the young girl alive. When they arrive, their worst fears are confirmed. Shari Faye Smith is dead. To the profiler, the detailed directions to Shari's body, as well as the condition of the crime scene, provides further insight into the suspect's mind.
It told me that he had been out to that crime scene on several different occasions because he was very specific as to the number of miles, intensive miles, and number of feet where she can be found. It also told me that he had some criminal sophistication, because I believe what he did is he waited for her to go into advanced stages of decomposition, which would make it more difficult for law enforcement to determine cause and method of death.
On the evening of Shari's funeral, the killer calls again and asks to speak to her sister, Dawn.
Hello?
This thing got out of hand, and all I wanted to do was make love to Dawn. I've been watching her for a couple of
To who?
In a chilling moment, the killer uses Dawn's name in place of Shari's. Investigators brace themselves for the possibility that this killer may be turning his murderous obsession towards Dawn.
We asked our customers, what do you like most about Consumer Cellular?
And